All right, welcome to video number 2 in the Building Better Athletes series. Today we're talking about speed, the secret behind building world-class speed. This is how to get it, how to improve it, and how to master it. The speed is king. Everybody wants speed, nobody has it, and nobody knows how to get it. And today we're gonna break it down, and it's not a secret. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now. Everybody just goes about it wrong. If you don't have a strength staff behind you, you'd see, okay, I need to be doing sprints, I need to be jumping on boxes, but you don't realize all the stuff that goes on before you even get to that. That's going to actually make the biggest impact on speed. So, not working again. There we go. You hear it 1,000 times. You can't teach speed. Everybody says you can't teach speed, yet so many players spend their entire offseason working on becoming faster and they come back faster than ever. Speed is the difference between sitting on the bench and playing. Speed is the difference between making the team and getting embarrassed because you couldn't keep up with the competition. So, how exactly do you train to become faster? What is the secret that so many strength coaches know when it comes to getting faster that you don't know? Well, first, I need to give you a little bit of a physics lesson. So, if an athlete wants to get faster, you can't just do a couple power exercises and suddenly become faster. You can't just start doing a bunch of sprints and suddenly you're sprinting faster, okay? And to understand why this is you have to look at Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion says, and I quote, "The acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the net force exerted and inversely proportional to the object's mass." So to break that down into simpler terms, if you don't add any more muscle and you don't get any stronger, you will not see any improvements in speed. So how this actually goes is if you do not add any more mass, which is muscle, and you do not produce any more force, which is strength, you will not see any improvements in acceleration, which is speed. So, here's the 2 secrets that aren't really secrets. In order to get game-changing speed, the 2 things that are the most important is the order of importance when training and type 2 muscle fiber activation and rate of force development. I'm going to get into all this here in a minute, but the one thing I want to explain right now is that your body is a race car, and I used this analogy in the last video. You can't go to Honda, buy a car from Honda, a stock model car, and expect it to be a street racing car. You're never going to win races. You have to improve the engine. Your body is the exact same way. If you are not fast on what you currently have, you are not going to be fast no matter how many power or speed exercises you do. You have to improve the muscles. You have to build them up. You have to make them stronger, and then you make them explosive. Just like if you got a car, you're not going to take the stock model and turn it into a race car. You got to improve the parts. So, here's a breakdown of muscle, okay? You have 2 types of muscle fiber in your body. You have type 1, which is slow twitch muscle fibers. It is for the long, slow endurance sports like cross country, running, and swimming. Then you have type 2 muscle fibers, which is for fast explosive movements like sprinting, putting, throwing, hitting, shooting, all the above, right? If you need to improve speed, you need to improve type 2 muscle fiber activation. Now, how do you find out what type of muscle fiber you are? There's 2 ways. One, you could go to a doctor, they can do a muscle biopsy and they'll actually tell you. It's expensive and it hurts. Or we could do a vertical jump test. Vertical jump tells me a lot more about you than just simply how high you can jump. If you jump over 18 inches, you are type 2 dominant. If you are under 18 inches, you are type 1 dominant. The vertical jump correlates very, very well to speed. Okay? The higher you can jump, the faster you will run, the faster you will sprint, the harder you will throw a ball, the harder you will take a shot, the harder you'll hit somebody. Vertical jump is related to all of that. Okay? Now, I know the question that you're asking. How do I improve my type 2 fiber activation? There's a better question right now, and I will answer this question, but there's a better question. This question is from me to you. Do you want to get a little bit faster, or do you want to master game-changing speed? I can write you a program right now that's all about type 2 fiber activation, and you'll get a little bit strong. You'll get a little bit faster, a little bit stronger. But if you want to change the game for yourself and understand there's a bigger picture and this is going to take a little bit longer, then you're going to change the game for yourself. Okay. You have to understand that. If it's, hey, I got tryouts in a month, I need to be faster, we'll do type 2 activation right off the bat. You're not going to get crazy fast, you'll get a little bit fast. But if you want that game changing speed, this is what you got to do. And we start with the order of importance when it comes to training. Now, before you even say it, yes, you're going to get faster right off the bat just starting this method, okay? So how the order of importance goes to get game-changing speed is you got to build, you got to strengthen, then you train to explode, okay? So whenever I talk about build, if you watched yesterday's video on the roadmap to how to become a standout athlete, we follow the same structure, okay? You have to build a foundation before you can make it strong and before you can make it powerful, okay? Our goal with the build is to build muscle, build a foundation, bulletproof your joints, get them strong and stable. The more stable you are, the faster you're going to become. So just by doing the build phase, you are going to get faster as we strengthen the hips, as we strengthen the shoulders, as we strengthen the knees, and we strengthen all the muscles connected to all of your joints that are going to help bulletproof them and have you working so much more efficiently right off the bat. Then whenever we strengthen, we maximize fiber activation, motor unit recruitment, and get you as fast as possible, and get you as strong as possible. And then we move into explode, which is going to be activating as many type 2 muscle fibers as we can to actually help you dominate in the game, okay? So let's break this down phase by phase. You gotta give the build phase is you gotta give your body new muscle to work with, just like in a car. You gotta give it a better engine if you want it to win races. You gotta give your body more muscle in order to become stronger, in order to become faster. The main goal here, let's put on anywhere between 10 and more pounds. That's going to be so much more fuel for your body to actually use to increase the strength, to increase the explosiveness, okay? We need to build an explosive base. That means your landing mechanics have to be perfect. Your sprinting mechanics have to be perfect. Your actual body development has to be perfect. And I say perfect, but it's like we're teaching you how to move. We're teaching you how to absorb force and how to give force right back, okay? In this build phase, we use a lot of eccentrics and time under tension to really activate the muscle fibers and begin to improve type 2 fiber activation and rate of force development. Okay? This is all about teaching your muscles how to activate. When your muscles know how to activate, they are going to be able to increase speed and power right off the bat. So you are going to be building strength and power during this phase. Don't think we're not doing that, but there's a bigger goal in mind, and that's to add muscle, get explosive, bulletproof the joints, and give yourself a strong base to explode from, okay? Then we go into the strengthening phase, which is overall strength development, okay? The stronger you are, the more force you will be able to generate, and the more force you're going to be able to generate, the faster you will be. In this phase, we are increasing motor unit recruitments, okay? Your muscles are lazy. You have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of fibers in your muscles that don't want to do anything, okay? Your body's goal is to survive. It's not to perform, it's to survive. So your body wants to turn on as little of those muscle fibers as possible in order to save the energy. In a sports performance side of things, it's the complete opposite. We want to turn on as many fibers as we possibly can to have as much output as we possibly can. Okay, we're no longer running from tigers and bears and trying to hunt to survive. Now we're trying to put a puck in a net, a ball in a hoop, a baseball over the fence. Those are the things we're trying to accomplish now. Okay, we need to turn on as many motor units as possible. That's the scientific term for the little fibers within the muscle. Okay, it is our job to recruit as many as we possibly can. Once we get better at that, which is as you get stronger, the stronger you get, the more fibers you're activating. Okay, if today you come into the gym and you can only squat 135 pounds, and in 2 months from now you're squatting 185 pounds, you turned on more muscle fiber, and now your muscles are more efficient. And that's exactly what we need to do in order to increase speed. We need your muscles to become more efficient. Okay. Throughout this phase, we continue to improve type 2 activation and rate of force development. Rate of force development is how your body produces force, how it takes force and puts it into a stride and puts it into a shot or things along that nature, right? We want to improve this as much as we possibly can throughout this phase. The stronger you are, the more force you'll be able to generate, and the more force you're able to generate, the faster you will become. Then we move into the explode phase, the power phase. Okay. Um, we lead with this whole process leads to a shift in muscle fiber spectrum towards a higher percentage of fast twitch fibers. That's the goal to get faster. You need to turn on as many type 2 muscle fibers as possible. The neurological adaptations are higher firing frequencies and a stronger activation of high motor thresholds. That means more fibers are turned on, more fibers are firing when you need them to. We're maximizing type 2 activation and rate of force development. We're maximizing acceleration. We're maximizing whole body explosiveness. And we're maximizing overall speed output. We're not just trying to get faster. We're trying to get more explosive. Okay. If you play any sport that starts in like a power stance, like in hockey, you have the power stance. In baseball, you have it's all the same thing. We just use different terminology of what stance you need to be in to explode out of it, right? That is the goal, is to be able to move out of that stance as fast and as explosive as possible. Okay? We put on new lean muscle, we make that muscle stronger, and then we make that more explosive, and that goes to game-changing speed. Now, I know everybody's interested. What do we do in the explode phase in order to create that type 2 muscle fiber activation? So, these are the methods that we use at Durkin Sports Performance to help increase the muscle fiber activation, make you more explosive, and really help motor unit recruitment at its fullest. We use contrast training for everybody. Contrast training is when you take a strength-based movement like a back squat and pair it with a plyometric of similar movement patterns like a box squat. The squat turns on as many fibers as you can, and then you immediately go into the box squat and it makes them train explosively. Then the more advanced version of that is French contrast training. French contrast training is along the same lines, but now we add 4 exercises to a group. It's a strength-based movement, plyometric of similar movement pattern, a weighted plyometric of similar movement pattern, and assisted plyometric of a similar movement pattern. So, for example, this would be a back squat, a box jump, a weighted squat jump, and an assisted squat jump, just as examples. Okay. The goal with this one is, again, we go in, we use the back squat, we turn on as many fibers as we can, and then we make them explosive, we make them explosive, and we make them explosive. This fatigues them, but it turns on as many as possible. You get extremely sore through this, but you do get plenty of fiber activation that's actually going to transfer into sport. And as I talked about yesterday, that's the goal. If it doesn't transfer to your sport, it doesn't matter. You're wasting time. And that is the benefit to all of this, is it's going to transfer to sport. Other things that we do is use bands and chains. How this works is the load is lighter at the bottom, and as you stand up with them, it gets heavier and heavier and heavier to recruit more muscle fiber activation. And then my all-time favorite is VBT, velocity-based training. We have a VBT unit that measures barbell speed. And our goal with this is to get as much weight on the bar and the bar movement as fast as possible. So, for example, if we're training and I want you to hit 0.85 on the VBT, your goal is to get as much weight as you can while still hitting 0.85. Now, at first, let's say you have 135 pounds on the bar, you're hitting 0.85. By the end of the phase, you'll hopefully have 185 on the bar, hitting 0.85. That's the overall goal. The faster you can move the weight, the more explosive you'll be. The faster you run, the higher your vertical jump will be, and the more motor units you turned on, and you just developed overall demanding speed. Now, how do you master game-changing speed? I just taught you how to get it. How do we master it? How do we make sure that you never lose it, that you actually become a difference? I want to revisit this from yesterday. Now, if you haven't watched yesterday's video on the roadmap to becoming a standout athlete, I highly recommend you go do that. How this works is this is a ladder of training. Okay, this is where everybody's stuck at, And our goal is to get you into the top 4 to 6% as fast as we can. So in general physical prep and advanced physical prep, we're still building the foundation and we're putting on lean muscle. Our goal is to take you from where 94% of the world is stuck in. And when I say world, I mean 94% of athletes who are training on their own are stuck in, and get you into this special strength where we start adding strength and then transfer where we start making you powerful and fast. Okay. Your goal is to get out of these developmental stages as fast as possible. Yes, when you start younger, it's a longer ball game. If I get you at 10, 11, 12, this could take 18 months. But if I get you at 14, 15, 16, when you already have some sort of a base, we can get you out of that within 6 months, sometimes even 3 months into the more advanced stuff. Now, with this being said, don't just please trust the process. Don't try to speed things up on your own because that's how you get stuck in this 94%. Okay? Build the base. Make it strong, make it stronger, make it explosive. That's how it goes. So this is how we do this in order to continually see improvements year after year after year. And as simple as this. Every off season, because during your sports season, you're going to lose muscle mass, you're going to lose strength, you're doing more playing than you are training, and that is a way of nature. We do train a lot of hockey players at Durkin Sports Performance, and we have athletes gain 20 pounds during their off season, and whenever they come back, they lost every pound of it because of the fact they're skating so much, burning so many calories, it's hard to keep it all on. So what we always do is start with a phase of putting on a little bit of muscle, then we make it stronger, then we make it more explosive. How this goes is month 1, we're building the muscle mass. Month 2, we're making it strong. Phase 3, we're transferring it, and we're peaking you for whenever you leave. So in order to master it, the answer is simple. Repeat the cycle, peak for your season. That's how it goes. Repeat the cycle, peak for your season. If we come back to this, it's just following the ladder. You put on muscle, you make it strong, you make it more explosive. If you follow that, you will never lose what you got. Okay? Repeat the cycle, peak for the season. That is how you master game-changing speed. It is very, very hard to train for speed during season because you are just doing way too much outside of the facility that's going to hinder the performance. Focus on speed during the off season, and you are going to have amazing success with it. But whenever we start throwing a lot more at you during season, it just makes you more tired and it actually makes you not as productive on the field, ice, or court. So that's why we always say wait till the off season to really focus on that. And during the season, let's build the base. Let's build the base. Let's learn how to make your body more explosive, strong in that athletic position, and really learn how to come out of that explosively and strong so you have nothing to worry about. And whenever it does become off season where we can focus on speed, it's such an easier transition. If you are interested in training with us, you could go ahead and either reply to the email you got this video in, email us at coachmike@durkinsportsperformance.com, or go to durkinsportsperformance.com and click on the link Get Started. Fill out the form and we'll reach out within 24 hours to schedule your 100% free performance evaluation so we can show you exactly where you're at and exactly where you need to be to get to the level that you want to play. This allows you to see the facility, meet the staff, and make sure this is something you want to do before committing. And we will also give you an amazing idea of where you are right now, everywhere your body's holding back, and where we need to start to really get you to that standout athlete. Any questions? Feel free to let us know. And besides that, I'll see you in the next video.